Okay, well, right at the end of the process of the Economic Horizon competition, we have the privilege and joy of the awards ceremony, which is all online as the competition has been. And we have Simar Hare, who is the worthy winner of the Economic Horizon competition 2020, and her teacher, Mr. Humphreys. And before we get to our VIP, Mr. MacPherson, Rob, I believe that this was very much a last-minute entry because you originally emailed me saying the Grange weren't entering. So do you want to tell me a bit about that?
Yes, Andrew, I didn't think we would have any entries from the Grange because unfortunately the timing meant that it was at the same time as our internal exams and internal summer exams. And of course, those summer exams are really important for students because it's partly based on those exam results that we do the UCAS predictions for next year. So those internal exams, which Simar was obviously revising for and taking, finished on the last day of the exams was the 16th, and the close date for the competition was the 19th. So I was expecting lots of people to be interested, but no one actually to put their hands up because of that. But then I got a request from Simar right at the last minute saying, yes, I will enter this. And she's obviously done exceptionally well with fitting all the research and the preparation for this alongside all the revision and the sitting of an internal exam. So that makes it an even greater achievement, I think.
And one further achievement, of course, is that Simar, of all the entries, you were the only person to enter as a sole entrant. Everyone else was in a team with lots of backup. So that makes it even more of an achievement. So without further ado, Nick, would you be happy to kick off by telling us a little bit about what you thought about the presentation and why it won?
Well, two things. I was seeking to assess both the content, but also the delivery of the presentation itself, including the slides which went with it. I thought Simar's analysis was great. She started off really well with the economic context, which looked way back before coronavirus and took into account things like Brexit and the financial crisis. And I think also the context in terms of the labour market, I liked the comparison with the United States. I liked your thoughts on negative interest rates. You were the only applicant who looked at that in a serious way in terms of changing the inflation remit. I liked the focus on regional unemployment, infrastructure, construction, green investment. Also, thoughtful ideas around the propensity of different income groups to consume. And as a former Treasury official who's always been very interested in the history of debt, I liked your chart and your analysis about wartime debt peaking, around about the time of VE Day, and your view that a lot of stimulus was possible, but that in the long run you might need to raise taxes, but you didn't want to do that prematurely. And you did all that. While I thought your delivery, especially for one person, because a lot of the other entrants, they shared that burden round. I like the pace of it. There's always a temptation to speak too quickly, to try and pack more stuff in, but I thought it was very evenly paced. It flowed well, and I thought it went well with, it worked well with the charts as well. So, Simar, well done. And I should have said it was in a very strong field, and I wouldn't say I had a sleepless night, but I having looked through all the presentations, the evening before, I went through them all again the next morning, and I had a real difficulty deciding on the winner. But the more I thought about it, the more I was convinced you were the worthy winner. So well done.
Thank you.
And so, A, I'm really impressed that you put this all together on your own. B, that it was against the context of doing lots of exams, which will decide your future. how did you? What were the challenges of putting it all together?
I think, well, because I'd been collecting lots of little bits of information over the course of my exams, and I had them all written on a document. So when I wrote it up, it was way too much. I'd recorded it and it was way too long. So narrowing it down, that was the main challenge, I think.
It's always really hard when you've been given a time limit. And indeed, one very good entrant just went completely over it and was sort of cut off in mid-flow. And actually, I'll tell you something else I liked about it was, you always think maybe Mr. Humphreys was writing it, but I could tell when you sort of went through options, you said things like, well, I've considered this, but I'm not recommending it. I'm recommending this. And I just felt it was very much your view, no doubt, reflecting all the work you've done for your course.
We wanted to finish off just before making the formal presentation, Simar, by finding out a little bit about you, because we'd love to encourage other people to apply in the future. And we'd love to know about what your plans are, what you're studying. So can you tell us a bit about that?
Yes, so at the moment, I take maths and textiles and economics, obviously.
Wow.
And this year has been a big change because I hadn't really considered doing economics in the future before, because it's a new subject for me. And it's really changed a lot because now I'm looking to do it in the future as well, like a university-based course on it. So it's been really good, yeah.
Well, I'm really glad you're doing it. And I had the same experience. I took up economics really quite late, but it was one of these subjects which the more I studied it, the more interesting it became. And if you can do it at university, I strongly recommend it. And it would be really good if you ended up, working in the Treasury or the Bank of England or in one of these institutions. And if I can ever be of any help in terms of trying to sort of help you get an internship or work experience or whatever, through Mr. Humphreys and Andrew Crook, maybe I can be of assistance in some way.
Well, I definitely wouldn't turn that offer down. From Nick's comments, just a really worthy winner. And from having worked alongside you, Nick, those sorts of skills are highly prized in the Treasury, aren't they? Being able to give a concise, well-considered piece of advice to hard-working and busy ministers is a very difficult and well-prized skill. So, Nick, just over to you to award the prize verbally, and we will send something over in the post.
Well, Simar, many congratulations. It's a pleasure and a privilege to award you this prize, albeit remotely, and well done.
Thank you so much. Thanks.
Many congratulations. Well done, fantastic. Well done. A really worthy winner. Nick, thank you so much.
Well done, Mr. Humphreys, for obviously creating interest and generally providing support.
Well, I think it just remains to be said to thank you, Nick, because you've really supported the competition this year, given me advice and a lot of support and encouragement. Thank you ever so much. Simar, well done. Mr. Humphreys, well done to you in the department. And well done. Roll on 2021. Thank you.